Look at us. Look at us. Top of the league, 7 points clear. Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. Goals from Victor Gyökeres and Declan Rice, giving Arsenal the 3 points up in Lancashire. The 3 points, another clean sheet, another goal from a set piece. Welcome, James. Welcome, everybody, to the On the Whistle feature here on Latte FM. James, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Our sheets have been clean for a while. We have been managed like an esteemed hotel. We have 8 hours now without conceding a goal in all competitions. I believe 5 consecutively in the Premier League. It's just good fun. And admittedly, the second half was not great, but truthfully, I don't care. If we go 2-0 up every game and the second half is a bit dull, I do not care. And in the first half, I thought we played some really good football, which I'm sure we will go on to discuss.
It's funny, isn't it? We win 1-0 and it's like, I'll take another 30 of those games. We were here winning 2-0 and quite comfortably in the end, actually. And we're like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. We just keep winning. We keep doing it. And it's fantastic. So look, the headlines today, James, are that we have beaten Burnley by 2-0. Brighton have pumped Leeds at home 3-0. Palace have beaten Brentford at home 2-0. Fulham have beaten Wolves 3-0. Everybody seems to be beating Wolves these days. And Manchester United, who are 1-0 up, have let that slip and they have drawn 2-2 at Forest. And we've got a couple of glorious hate watches to come. Spurs, Chelsea in about 25 minutes. Liverpool, Villa later tonight. It's important for us that we just keep winning. I know performances are going to be really important, individual performances, but just on the whole, James, 9 wins on the bounce, another clean sheet, just the 3 goals conceded in all competitions this season. There's a lot to be happy about.
I also think the nature of our victories this season is such a stark contrast from last season when, even when we were winning, they were 2-1, we were scraping over the line, we were backs against the walls. The way we're playing is so sustainable because we're relaxed. These guys are not, so they're not exerting themselves that much in the second half. A lot of the questions for us might be like, is that a concern in the second half? It's not ideal, but I honestly, they just took the foot off the gas. They thought, do you know what? We've got different fights to come. We'll go 2-0 up and happy days, because they're not concerned about what people in the media are trying to perpetuate, which is Arsenal need to score more goals from open play. No, they're happy scoring 2 corners each game and wiping our hands and going, thank you very much. See you next week for exactly the same thing. So, yeah, as I say, we're in a tremendous position, and there's been a very kind super chat, so I'll let you read that out.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. My sincere apologies. Here we go. Call out boy. Straight off the bat, thank you so much for your very generous donation to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Evening, gents. It's a sign of the times where I am dreading us just merely conceding a goal, maybe even just a shot on target, rather than actually losing overall. Another solid away win. Call out boy. Thank you so much again. And a great point. I mean, you know, we talked about this in the Q1 review on Thursday night, James. We did the late night lounge last night. And I've sort of said to everyone that, like, it feels like a dream. It feels like at some point I'm just going to wake up. We are just so good. And we're so difficult to play, and we're so difficult to get even just shots on target, let alone beat. I don't know what else to say about this team.
I want to go one step further from this comment from Call Out Boy. There was a period in the match where I was just dreading conceding a shot. Until about the 60th minute, we hadn't conceded a shot. And then Fleming had like a header, which was barely a header from like behind the penalty spot. And I thought, we could have gone the whole game without conceding a shot. In the end, it was very close. I didn't see, was it a Rice save or did it hit the post?
I thought it hit the post, although I could be wrong. Obviously, we've just gone live as soon as the whistle's gone, so I need to watch that back. Maybe the chat can tell us, but it looked like it hit the woodwork.
But what I will say is, even if that had gone in, it wouldn't have gone down in the open play section, only in the set piece section. So apparently this is how football works nowadays, even though if you ask any manager in the Premier League, that's absolutely not how they see it. So yeah.
Indeed. Well,
3.
Well, Call Out Boy, thank you once again for your very generous donation. Stadiums are emptied everywhere they go. Oh, that was great to hear as well. Let's start with the starting lineup. We made 10 changes in midweek to play Brighton. The regular first 11 was established, and we have a couple of injury concerns, which we'll come on to shortly. So look, David Raya started in between the sticks. Jurien Timber right back with Saliba passing his fitness test to play alongside Gabby Magalhaes. Ricky Calafiori brought back in ahead of Miles Lewis-Skelly. The midfield three, there was a bit of debate about this last night. Do we go with a flat three? Does Marino come in and Eze go out to the left, of course, with no Martinelli? But he's went with Eze, Zubimendi and Rice in the middle. Trossard out on the left, who I thought started quite poorly, but he always bails himself out with an assist or something magical. Saka, Gyökeres, who I thought had a fantastic half. We'll talk about him. And of course, Bukayo Saka, captain of the team. What did you make of the lineup? Would you have made any sort of changes, any differences?
No, I tweeted before the game exactly kind of don't fix what isn't broken. And also what we're seeing more and more now with this team is they really know where each other's going to be. The Zubimendi Rice rotation is fantastic. Eze is finding himself in space more often, and this is being helped by this pivot behind them. And Gyökeres, I thought after his first full week of rest in quite a while, I was so impressed with him in the first half, as you mentioned. And I really, really hope that his injury isn't too bad. Now, from what we've seen, it seems like he just took a bit of a whack to the face. So I hope it's related to that. Regardless, it's lovely again that we're in a position where we can take these precautions, where we don't have to say to Gyökeres, right, oh, can you give us some more? Can you give us some more? No. I think we were 2-0 up at half time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. 2-0 up, Gyökeres. You're feeling a bit concussed? Off you come. Marino can come up front. Who I think him actually coming on was one of the reasons why in the second half we struggled quite a lot. I thought he didn't have his best game. The ball was just not sticking, which I suppose, again, people haven't been giving Gyökeres credit. Today was a huge credit to him. He ran the channels so well. He held up excellently. And if not for a few players not finishing well, he would have also got a few more assists. So top performance from him, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say I'd probably go so far as to say that I think that's Victor Gyökeres' best 45 minutes for us.
Yeah.
The goal, the work rate, running the channels, like you say. The commentator was at it from the get-go. He just doesn't give up. And there was a moment in that first 5 minutes where he sort of chased one defender, chased the left back, closed down the centre back, ball ricocheted out of play for a throw. And I'm just thinking, this is what he does every week.
Yeah.
And delighted for him, obviously delighted about the win, but at what cost? I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping it's to do with his sort of head. He was wincing, wasn't he, as he sort of walked off at halftime on camera. Although, Arteta has been pretty good at doing precautionary subs. And of course, we've got Slavia Prague just on Tuesday at 5:45. So very, very important that he's back. Just going back to the lineup, we did make 5 subs in the game. One was forced at halftime, Mikel Merino coming on. But Nkapie came on for Ricky Calafiori on about 70 minutes. Norgard coming on for Zubimendi with about 15 to play. Wanyeri came on as a double sub with Nkapie for Eze. I want to talk about Eze shortly. Miles Lewis-Skelly coming on in injury time for Leo Trossard. It seems like Arteta is learning about rotating the squad and taking minutes out of legs that need them.
And as I say, this is a byproduct of the fact that we are winning so comfortably in these games that we can not only take our foot off the gas, but rotate players. And also a side byproduct that we have the players on the bench to bring on that are as good as the starters. There is no obvious... Of course there is, but there's no less of an obvious starters and bench players. We just have 18 players, almost to 20 players now, who are genuinely first team quality. And also the fact that bench exists is partly because it's a vicious cycle. Last season, what happened was we were exerting ourselves in games so much, which was causing injuries. Because of the injuries, we had no bench, which meant we were exerting ourselves in games more, and it was a negative spiral. This season, as we've spoken about many times, we set ourselves up in the transfer market to say this isn't going to happen again. And because of that, it gives me so much confidence for the title, because we look at it and think, what could derail us? A lot of different pieces in the starting 11 have already been pulled out of the team, and we've been fine. We've been just as good, and then they come back in, and the level increases even more. So, huge testament to the transfer window in summer. And, the subs come on and makes very little difference, frankly, which is such a good thing.
I think the best thing about the subs is that the level of performance or level of caliber just doesn't drop.
Yeah.
You've got Norgard coming on, who captained Brentford and was ever present in their season last year, just coming on just to kind of close up shop and take minutes out of Zubimendi's legs. The caliber of squad is absolutely phenomenal. Just in terms of match stats, according to the BBC, 54% possession today, James. We had an XG of more than 2 at half time with
54% possession.
Yeah, it felt like a lot more, but that, when you go ahead, I guess, away from home. You expect the home team to come on, and just to the point earlier, the second half wasn't as comfortable as I wanted it to be, and I think it's related to Victor Gyökeres going off, because I think, Miko Marino obviously hasn't played up front for a while now, and you could see immediately the impact. There was no one running the channels, no one dragging defenders away. It was a little bit, I would say, what's the word? Static.
I think just to jump onto that, it comes from the fact that we've been last season we were used to playing with a false nine and Marino, so we were going short to the striker. Now this muscle memory is to hit the channels. We kept hitting the channels to Marino, thinking, what are we doing? Like, he's not going to get there. And also, I would say it didn't help that not only was Marino on the pitch, but our wingers weren't particularly working well as outlets. If Martinelli was on, it'd been a bit easier because we can stretch him in that way. Trossard has never really been that outlet, and Saka, who I'm sure we'll talk about, I think he really struggled today, actually. And hopefully, as one of the comments alluded to before, hopefully it's just a case of he doesn't want to overexert himself. This one, yeah, precisely. But still, I'd like to see a little bit more from Saka in games like these. And when Madueke does come back into the team, it will be interesting because nobody's undroppable. And
No.
when Madueke was playing at the level he was, and you look at Saka today, if we needed a goal, I'd have said, hang on a minute, do we bring on Madueke for Saka to get a goal? And that's a really weird position to be in, because Saka always has that moment of quality. But just today, I didn't think he was causing the fullback enough problems, and it's Burnley. So these are where, when we're talking, when Man U fans are making ridiculous comparisons with Mbeumo, I want to say, look, Saka's on 10 goals this season. Shut up. But they will bring up stats, and while Saka's, it doesn't matter, not that it matters, but Saka deserves to get these goals and assists in games like these. And yeah, I don't think it was his best game.
DZ Rascal asked, did Burnley get a shot on target? No, they did not. They did not have a shot on target today. They had 3 shots, a couple of wayward headers, and of course the free kick.
Just to break down on the possession, by the way, we had 62% possession in the first half with 2.32 xg. And in the second half, we had 46% possession with 0.14 xg. So second half, we did nothing, but we didn't need to.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. A couple of people have just mentioned that maybe we took our foot off the gas. It was a very different performance. I'd have felt very uncomfortable had we have started the game that way, and had Burnley have started the game that way. And imagine we'd gone in halftime 0-0. I'd have probably been sitting there, James, thinking this is going to be a very, very sensitive second half. But we got the work done, and maybe this is sort of squad management, exertion management. You've got Champions League game in just a couple of days' time. It's the early kickoff on Tuesday. I think this is clever stuff from Arsenal. Let's talk about key moments. We talked about Saka. We'll talk about the goals in just a second. Saka obviously could have scored. He went through 1-on-1, but missed his chance. It was a save, a relatively easy save for Dubravka, who I thought was really good today. The first goal, set piece, ole. We got a free kick. Rice whipping it in. Big Gabriel, who I think might get to 10 GNA this season, James. I don't know how many defenders do that, but he got the assist, and Victor Gyökeres just nodding home. Very pleased for the Swede. Another goal to his name, really important, but another goal for Arsenal and another goal from a set piece. What did you make of it?
Yeah, we are inevitable. It boils the piss of every rival. But again, we are getting so many set pieces because we're pinning teams back, and we saw it. They were conceding corners because we were putting the ball over the top to Gyökeres. We were crossing the ball in. They were blocking it. I think it was Maresca who said, corners don't just happen. You have to win corners. So yeah, and it's a viable way of scoring. And not only did we score from that, but we showed a few of the times we created some variation. There was one where Saka went short to Zubimendi, I think. Zubimendi chipped it over, and Trossard was very, very close to getting a second. So that's what makes me the happiest, is that we have so many different ways of scoring set pieces that teams they're not going to learn, because they learn how to defend us taking a long throw in. And then if you saw this one, someone threw it down to Rice, and then Rice made a beautiful cross in. And they can't address everything all the time. And this team has been together for so long now. The synergy on set pieces, as crazy as to say, is ridiculous. It's so hard to defend against. So great goal again, and good to see Gyökeres getting his name on the score sheet, because he still needs that.
He does. Vlad says, almost feels like getting a penalty every time we get a corner. Never seen a team this dominant. And I think that's psychologically, it must be absolutely gutting for a team to concede a corner to Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah.
The run that we are on, James, and the hype that everyone is talking about, Nico Yova and our routines and our effectiveness of actually converting corners into goals. You can see it as soon as the corner is awarded. The home fans' heads were down.
Yeah.
Players' heads were down. They're like, they don't want to face it because they know it's almost, I would say, inevitable. But
And
a
that
great way
fear,
to
yeah, that
make the
fear
lead.
is driving the fact that, like, we're scoring more corners because they're so afraid, which means they're not thinking rationally. They're going, "Where's Gabriel? Where's?" And that, yeah, it's so fun to watch every time we get a corner. Just the way people are so scared.
It is, and to see the rival fans on socials as well, give it the big. So the number 14 got our goal in the 14th minute, and then of course we got our second 20 minutes later. This was a beautiful goal, a sweeping move from Arsenal, ended by Declan Rice thanks to a beautiful Leo Trossard cross. We'll talk about Rice in a moment, but the goal itself, James, I mean, just the buffer we needed at the perfect time, and I thought we probably would have gone on to get a few more, but obviously we talked about how the second half unfolded.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people said Trossard didn't have the best second half, and I know you said that you didn't think he started very well, but I think there was about a 30-minute period from about the 15th minute to half time that Trossard was playing very, very well, and capped that off with a really, because just before that he made I think it was before this, he made a pass to Calafiori inside the box where he was out wide and made this really nice incisive pass. I can't remember if that was before or after, but then, yeah, he gets the ball in a 1v1, spin, turns, I think it was Kyle Walker, which was satisfying, inside out, crosses it. And then Rice, who'd just been back in our 6-yard box, had run all the way up the pitch, scores another beautiful header. And it was easily man of the match today for me. I don't know about you.
Well, Rice for me, absolutely man of the match. So many people have sort of opened the show with their thoughts on that. I thought this is probably Declan Rice's best game of the season so far. He's been brilliant all season,
Yeah.
but the way that he was basically all over the pitch, I'll be really interested to see his touch map. I'll sort of bring that up on the match reaction that I do later or maybe tomorrow. The way he just eats up the grass, he carries the ball, players are bouncing off
He's
him.
just everywhere.
He's
One of those
everywhere,
players, for the
everywhere.
people who still play football, when you look up and you're like, how is he there? He was there before. And you're thinking, how is he managing to do? So just to read his stat line quickly to help you out: 5 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 3 interceptions, and 9 recoveries, and 9 duels won out of 14, which is about 67% or something. So he was ridiculous, and I feel like we're getting to that. He always starts the season slowly. I don't know why. But when he gets going during the season, I've said before, the PFA team of the season charge, I'm sorry, the PFA player of the year charge begins now.
It does indeed. A great performance from Declan Rice. There were a number of good performances. I thought Yuri Timber was solid again. Gabriel, not at his best. I thought Saliba was good. Calafiori looked good. I mean, look, it's very difficult to kind of pick any faults in the team. Going forward, though, in the final third, I do want to talk about Eza. Wonderful talent. I know that, and I'm going to be brave about this, but I'm a little bit cautious about his work out of possession. I'm not sure he's the pressing monster or the sort of, he's got that sort of defensive mindset that, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is Erdegaard out of possession, phenomenal.
Yeah,
Ezra's not
that's the
quite at that
problem.
level yet. And maybe that's the benchmark.
That is the problem, is that Erdegaard, you had almost like 3 different players morphed into one. There's no way a player should have been that good in the final third, but also that good in the first and second phases, but also be able to press and have the leadership qualities he does. Palace don't really press in the same way that we press, so I understand it will take time. It's taken other players a lot of time to adjust to the way we press, fitness-wise and tactics-wise. This is, for me, exactly why, as Gunnar Funner says, he started off at left wing when he joined us, because you don't really have that off the ball responsibility. So I believe when Erdegaard does come back into the team, we will probably see Eza on the left. We will see Erdegaard back at right centre mid, and yeah, Eza will be able to he'll be platformed to do what he does best, which is on the ball. There will still be off the ball responsibilities, but I want Eza to be fresh when he gets the ball, so he can look in the whites of defenders' eyes and really run at them, rather than be knackered by the time he picks up the ball between the lines, because he's doing what Odegaard does, which not many footballers can recreate.
Indeed. Hundreds of you watching live this On the Whistle show. James and I have been doing trialing this season. If you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, get involved in the chat. The chat are talking a lot about Victor Gyökeres, James, and they're wondering what the state of the injury is. Look, he went off at halftime. I think the footage at halftime, the camera showed him sort of wincing, complaining maybe about some sort of contact to the head. Depending on who you follow on socials, yeah, there's rumors going around about sort of precautionary muscle. But listen, halftime, he will hopefully be in the squad and ready. It was great to see him back on the bench in the second half, and he was sort of looking a little bit uncomfortable as the final whistle went, and players went to sort of embrace him and sort of shake hands and whatnot. But he's so important to us, and with Kai Havertz maybe just a couple of weeks away, it's important that he plays. I don't want to see Miguel Marino playing too much more up front. Can I get your thought? I mean, look, Declan Rice, I think we have established our an unanimous sort of man of the match today. Anyone off the bench take your fancy? Ethan Nwaneri came on 20 minutes. What did you make of his cameo? Piero Hincapié as well?
Hard to judge with I guess the amount of time that they had, and also just the way we played, because we didn't play very well in general. Nwaneri again shows glimpses of what has been of his potential that we see when he made he did a roulette, I think, and got a shot off away. I don't know. He just feels like primed to explode, and what I mean by that is he feels so close to being there, and I'm not sure what tweak it will be, but when that happens, I think he will really consistently score goals off the bench if he's not starting, but just contribute to this team, because there are so many times when he's nearly there, and maybe that will come with physicality, maybe that will come with just knowing when to go and when not to go, but we're seeing it more and more, these moments during games, and that excites me because, again, we got him for free. He's a Haaland boy, so yeah. Him, Lewis Skelly coming off the bench. I wanted to see Dauman again, but he's 15. I need to keep reminding myself that. So yeah, I can forgive Arteta.
Save him for the Champions League. Paul says, if you rewatch the game, I suspect you'll see Eza didn't play as badly as you think. I don't think he played badly. I think on the ball he was fine. I just think off the ball he's a little bit slow to close down players. He's not really got that tackling engine as we have grown to see Mikel Arteta love. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, look, it was a good game. 3 points, clean sheet, another goal from a set piece. Hopefully, no injuries. Up next for Arsenal, obviously, we are in action on Tuesday. Champions League trip to Prague in the Czech Republic. We play there at 5:45 p.m. Hopefully, there'll be maybe a bit more rotation because he can't keep picking the same 11. And then, of course, next Saturday, James, we are up at the Stadium of Light to take on Granit Xhaka Sunderland.
Very difficult.
We host Everton on Monday. Yeah, very, very difficult game. But luckily, we've got 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it is, to recover. Any closing thoughts, James? I mean, it's 3 points and top of the league and 7 points clear with 10 on the board.
No, just set piece, ole, ole, ole. And see you all for the 5:30 and the 8 o'clock hate watch. Who do you want Chelsea to win? Who do you want to win this game?
I never want Spurs to win. I would like it to be a goal fest draw with a couple of red cards each and maybe 1 or 2 muscular pings.
Happy days, because we play Chelsea. We play both of them over the next few weeks.
Well, there you go. A couple of red cards would be very, very nice. It's be a tasty game. And Liverpool, fancy them to beat Villa tonight, or do you think Ollie Watkins can do the job?
Surely Liverpool have got to beat. Who's at home?
Liverpool.
Surely Liverpool have to win, but Villa have much improved in recent weeks, and Emery will know exactly how to long ball up against this Liverpool team. Oh, what a day that would be if Liverpool dropped more points. So yeah, I'm sure we will be back on this channel to speak about it soon with all the lovely people in the comments.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really love that. Enjoy your hate watches, ladies and gents, boys and girls. 2 glorious games coming up, and enjoy tomorrow being top of the league, 7 points clear of Bournemouth. It is a good feeling and a good time to be an Arsenal fan. Hopefully, more Halloween fright nights for Liverpool and Arnie Slot tonight. Look after yourselves. Take care. Bye for now.